Well folks, a very good afternoon. Kayaker here. Welcome to Lincolnshire. Bit overcast, very windy. So if the sound's a bit iffy on this video, I do apologise in advance. I've got a wind slayer on the GoPro, but whether it can cope with the winds that we've got here in Lincolnshire today, I'm not so sure. I want to shoot this little video for you because I recently bought a new kayak that I've been raving about. But there's two things that boil my backside about it. One I can live with, the other I struggle with. So let me just explain a little bit more. So here we have my my Go Plus kayak, which I absolutely love. I rave about this this little kayak all the time to people. The one thing that irritates me is in choppy water you get a lot of that noise, more so than in my other kind of kayaks. Pretty annoying, but you know, I can live with that. Now this is a one-person kayak, and we have a carry handle there, and all the way back here we have another carry handle. Brilliant if you've got arms like King Kong, but unfortunately I don't. So the way I sort of maneuver this boat in and out of the water is to grab it kind of here. Pain in the backside. So what I've decided to do is glue some handles in this area here, just so I can, you know, well, make life easy for myself really. So I've ordered a couple of handles. I'm going to glue one here and I'm going to glue one there, and hopefully it's going to make this kayak even better than it already is. So let me show you the bits and pieces that I've got to do this job. Right, so the bits and pieces that I've bought to carry out this job is as follows. Obviously a ruler, make sure everything's symmetrical, otherwise my OCD, it will do my head in if it's not. Carpenter's pencil, that's just to mark out where I'm going to line the actual carry straps. Some masking tape. Now glue. I've done a lot of research into what type of glue to use. I looked at a number of different types actually. I looked at a glue called HH66 or HH66, which is very expensive. But I thought, well, if it's you know, lives up to its price, then perhaps that's the glue to use. I read some reviews and it weren't that great. So I've gone back to the old faithful Storm Shore. I've used this over the years for various things. I know it works. It's a brilliant glue. It's easy to use, very flexible. So I've stuck, as I say, with the old faithful. And these are the carry handles that I bought. These I think probably come from China. It's taken a couple of weeks for these to arrive, but they're nice, and you know, they look pretty solid. They look like reasonably well made. They're comfortable. Nice big pads here, so I can get loads of glue onto this surface here. So I don't want to scrimp on the amount of glue that I use. So yeah, I'm really pleased with these. I think it was about a 10 or something like that. Not a lot of money, but yeah, I'm really happy with those. So that's the kit that I've got to do the job. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark out where I want these handles to go, and make a start. So let's see how we get on. Right, so I'm going to kind of glue the handle on this flat part of the kayak in line with this sort of D-ring. Now ideally I would have preferred these pads to have been round rather than sort of oblong, but I couldn't find any that were round. That's where I'm going to position them. So I'm going to have this little sort of flex here so I can get the fingers in rather than having it sort of dead flat to the kayak. So I'm just going to create that little flex just like so, and yeah, I think that's going to be I think that's going to be okay. So the next job is to mark around these pads. Just make sure that's all kind of lined up as best as I can, because once this is glued down, that's it. You're kind of committed. So there we are. So there's my outline. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to mask that off, but I'm going to mask it about 2 mil just about 2 mil wider than that pattern, just so I know that there's plenty of glue. Just a couple of mil, don't have to go too much. Just like that. Right, so there we go. Right, next stage. Right, so the next thing I'm going to do is just slightly rough this area up, not too much, just a little bit. I don't know whether the camera's picking that up, but it's just ever so slightly. It's giving me a key. It'll just help the glue to adhere. There we go. Job is a good one. Alright, so the next job is to apply this Storm Shore. Now they supply gloves in the pack, but you know, I've got quite big hands and I've already split them, and as I recall, you don't want to get this stuff on your hands if you can help it. So the other thing, you don't get you don't get a spatula with this, so I'm going to use a bit of cardboard to really give that a good going over there. So I'm just going to go over that bit of cardboard, get that wheel really covered well. Already you can feel it going tacky. So again, let's get that. Just like that. Okay. Right, so what I need to do is leave this now for as long as it needs, probably I'd say 15-20 minutes, because I need this to be really tacky before I put the two together. So I won't bore you with the drying process, so I'll join me when there's no going back. Alright, so it's been It's been about 15-17 minutes since I applied the adhesive to the kayak, so let's see if it's ready to attach the handles. I think it is. I've tested it and it's really gone tacky, so let's crack on and get it done. So I've had to change them gloves. Them gloves were too small for my hands. I split them all, so I've got some of my work gloves on. So here we go. So I'm just going to push that in, and just to get that glue to kind of run out. Get off, fly. Let's get this one. I mean, you do have a bit of play with it. I mean, once I've stuck it, you know, it does sort of allow you to move it around a little bit to align it. So it's not like as soon as it makes contact, you know, that's it. So I'm just making sure that's, you know, I'd rather have a bead of glue around the edge then and live with, you know, that bead of glue than to think that I've not got enough. Now that's, so you see that that's just sort of twisted. That not good for my OCD. So it's in now. You know, any glue on here, I'll once it's dry, I clean. I mean, I might be just sort of rub it off if I can't. I just get a little bit of solvent on that just to tidy it all up. But I do want to see this bead of glue on the outside. It's what I'm looking for. That's why I just the masking tape was just ever so slightly, you know, wider than the size of this pad. So, yeah, by and large, I think I'm reasonably happy with that. Let's keep going round. Yep, it looks nice and straight to me. And these edges are coming up a little bit, which are not good. That's why I've only done one at a time, so I've not glued that side yet. I've marked it out and masked it up, but I've not. I'm just making sure that I concentrate on this and that is fully stuck before I move on to that side. By and large, that's looking alright. I'm a bit happy with that, I think. Just making sure, like I would like this, like I said, to have been round rather than this kind of oblong shape, although they have rounded off these corners. But I think I still would have preferred, you know, a round patch personally. But I couldn't find any. That's not to say that there isn't any out there in internet land. I'm sure there is, but I'm too lazy to troll the internet really. There you go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just keep fettling with that handle, make sure it is fully stuck, go on to the next handle, keep my kayak obviously inflated overnight and give it a check tomorrow, and so join me then. Well folks, it's the morning after the night before. It's been about 15 hours since I glued the handles to the kayak. I'm just kind of sitting here in my summer house. chilling out. So just finished my cup of coffee, so let's go and see how we got on. Just spin the camera around. There he is. There's our friend, as per usual, asleep. Anyway, let's go and take a look. So here we are. The kayak's been in the garage overnight, and before I went to bed I just momentarily come out and just checked, make sure that the you know, everything was stuck down correctly, and when I went to bed that it was. I've pulled it out this morning, got it on my trellises, so let's take a look. Ta-da! And here we have two new handles, and I definitely think that this is going to transform the ease of which I get this this boat in and out of the water. So obviously I have had a check of this morning. By and large I'm happy with it. The glues worked okay, not brilliantly, and there's still a few areas which are not as good as they could have been. This one patch was okay. This patch along here sort of played me up a little bit. I just couldn't get it to stick. Eventually I did, and it seems okay. On the other side, this section down here was a real pain in the backside. It really resisted my best efforts to get it to stick, but again I was out last night sort of just giving it that, you know. And again, this bit down here is not brilliant. I mean, it's good enough. I think it's nice and strong, and I know that the glue that I used is very, very good glue, so you know, I'm not overly worried about it. By and large I'm very, very happy. So I think what I'm going to do before I give the kayak, take this opportunity to give the kayak a really good clean, which it hasn't had for a long time. It's been used quite a lot since I've had it, and I've yet to have it a really good clean. I'm just going to do the sort of handle to give the handles a really good testing. So let's see how we get on with that. So there we go. I've now got two handles on my kayak. That's really going to help me. Can't wait to get it out on the water the weekend, give it a really good trying out. It seems very, very strong. As I say, there's a couple of areas, one or two patches that are not brilliant, but we'll see how they go, and I can always sort of add a little bit more glue if necessary. But I definitely think that if you've got one of these GoPro Plus kayaks, I'm sure you're perhaps sitting there thinking the benefits of having these carry handles. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and the next time I see you, I'm sure I'll be out on the water. So happy and safe kayaking. Catch you soon.